Our venue was booked that day. We were supposed to have it in September. The venue was booked. It ended up being a real nice weekend that weekend, so unfortunately we didn't get to have it then. We got bumped on down the line. So
well, that'll be cool to have an annual event though going on, a nice outdoor event, and
yeah.
You got a chance to have a big event because it is outdoors to put a few more people in there. And
sure. So, and you know, I mean, in the same token, I think as we do the annual events, I think we're going to try to have promo belts at each one, and also do sponsorships at each one. You know, so that'll give the guys a little incentive, something to fight for. You know, some of these guys don't always get the opportunity because you know, their rankings or whatever. I mean, it's not necessarily always a ranked guy. You know, it may just be the best guys of what we have lined up.
Well, that's one thing that's cool is you guys help a lot of promoters, sponsors, I mean fighters, especially with clothing, and that's a good thing. I mean, on an amateur level, they're not fighting for money; they're fighting for, you know, those kind of things. And the fact that they get to go out and meet you guys, and you get to meet them, there'll be some more fighters that'll be getting some T-shirts and hoodies out of the deal.
Oh yeah.
That's a cool thing.
What I'm going to try to do, and I don't know how this is going to work yet, but I'm going to try to get all fighters to come out in one of the event T-shirts. We're going to make an event T-shirt, and I'm going to try to get everybody just because of the theme that it is and stuff like that. We're going to try to get everybody to walk out in the event tee. They can keep it. It's a gift, you know, whatever, no big deal. I don't know if, you know, some of the camps may frown on that. You know, if their corner guys don't have to wear it. I mean,
just give them big enough ones, because I know Carlitos will have like 3 sweatshirts on.
Sure, hoodie, you know, stuff like that. No, and they're going to come over to the booth. I'll be able to let them pick out whatever shirt they want, try it on, whatever. No big deal. And like I said, when they come out, just wear out the event T-shirts and take it off. Then they can show, you know, whatever shirts they have on.
That's a good idea.
You know, I'm working, you know.
Yeah, always working.
I got a little birdie in my ear that tells me little things to do. So I won't say that birdie's name, but you know.
We're going to come back to Border Wars in a second, but I know we were all at Warriors Collide Saturday night also. There's some good fights. You know, I thought it was a really good card, so I can't really say it wasn't a well matched up card, but the fights, when it came down to it, weren't as good as they looked on paper.
Right. There was a couple fights that I thought was a little mismatched, but other than that, I mean, for the most of all, they was pretty good fights. You know.
Yeah, they just happened in the first round a lot of them. But Adam does a good job.
Oh, he does a real good job. I thought it was, like I said, I thought they were well matched. It's just the fights didn't go, or they weren't as exciting as I thought. The most exciting fight of the night to me was Josh Flowers versus Brad Jones.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
That was a great fight, and I was really impressed with Brad Jones. I was very impressed with Josh Flowers, but Brad showed a lot of heart, a lot of skill, and
a tough chin.
Have you seen his eye?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that happened really early on, and you got to always question, you know, if something like that doesn't happen early on, what happens in a fight like that?
And don't forget the shot to the gonads, you know.
But I didn't see the shot to the gonads. Did you see?
He took a low blow, yeah.
Okay, because I thought it was a stomach shot.
No, it was a little low. I mean, I'm not going to say it was full on, but it was low enough for him to feel it, that's for sure.
We all know it doesn't got to be full on to feel it.
Right. The lighter sometimes it's worse.
Oh, and my wife, you know, she's in the background going, "Oh, come on, they're just balls, guys. Come on, they're just balls. Come on, get over it."
I'm with your wife. I'm serious.
You know, I mean, come on. Well, you know, it's like, you know, you don't have none. That's why you don't know.
Well, not only that, we're going to put you in a cage with another guy who's trying to kick your ass. And oh, by the way, we're going to kick you in the balls, but don't worry about it.
Sure, don't worry about it.
It's just one more thing you're worried about.
Right, exactly.
The Steve Dietrich fight that night was really good
I was
too.
going to say that's the best amateur fight that I saw.
Steve Dietrich
and
Art Fuller.
Yeah.
That goes another round, and I think it's going to go Dietrich's way. I mean,
I agree.
He was
because
getting tougher
Art
and
was
tougher as the fight
gassy.
went. But Art was dominant in the beginning.
He was.
I think Art won the first 2 rounds and Steve won the 3rd round.
And
I look at it.
I saw that.
I told him afterwards, I told Steve afterwards, I said, man, if you'd have thrown your dang punches, you stood there like this the whole stinking time.
He was too much respect in the beginning.
Well, you had the 4th and 5th ranked guy in our rankings fighting each other that night, and the 4th ranked guy came out on the bottom, split decision, so you can probably guess they're going to flip-flop. The rankings are going to be, what is today, Wednesday? They will be up online by Friday, too, the new month's rankings.
What about the Adam Dunham fight? I like that. That was a good fight.
Adam's a friggin'
He's a
devil.
beast.
He's 140
That
pounds.
guy you fought was pretty
He
tough.
fights
for
at
staying with
35
him
a lot, too. He looks like an evil Cupid doll. He's got that little tough hair.
Well, he was wearing cage ready, that's why.
From the beginning of that fight, though, he kicked that kid's leg who he fought. Who's the guy he fought, Jim? You know, the
It was a guy out of Dojo USA, and Pritchard, is that it? Was it?
I don't remember.
But at any rate, he kicked this kid's leg and took out his knee in the very beginning of the fight. For that kid to even stay in the fight,
Right.
a lot of cojones
Oh,
there.
you know, I mean, it was a good fight. The kid had a lot of courage, you know. But for the most part, he was on his back,
Most of the
you know,
time.
most of the fight. But, you know, I mean, nobody finished anybody. They went to decision.
Well, you know what's funny is we're sitting here talking about this card and we haven't mentioned the pro fights at all on it because
Other
it's,
than Flowers,
yeah, that's right, Brad Jones, that fight. But the amateurs are just,
Right.
they're getting so good, man.
Right. Well, I missed Lee's fight, so I don't have nothing to say about
Lee
that one.
Russo?
I missed
that was a good
Southwood's
fight.
fight.
You didn't miss anything.
I missed both those
Lee
fights. So,
was dominant
you
over
know.
his opponent. It didn't seem like a good matchup from what I saw.
Right.
Ventimiglia, terrible matchup for him. And his guy was tougher than he thought. You know, we thought he would just go down immediately. Was tougher than that.
Right.
Did Scott win or lose?
Scott
won easily.
Did somebody say Steve Berger's back?
You know, we were so far from Steve Berger's match, but he took his guy out pretty easily too.
It was
Controlled
very,
him.
very quick. He didn't even have a mark on him, red mark, nothing. It was
Yeah.
done over
He
with.
just controlled them, yeah.
It was so funny. Tony's sitting there, and he takes him down, and he goes, "Hey, Jen, Steve's going to do this." Sure enough, Steve did that. He goes, "Hey, Jen, he's going to do this next." Sure enough, there he goes. After the fight, Tony told Steve, he's like, "I thought you would change it up." He's like, "Man, he gave me his leg." He said, "What was I supposed to do?" He said, "It was just right there waiting for me."
Get done, get paid, go home, unmarked.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So,
Good showing for Mr. Berger.
Yep.
yeah.
But I would like to comment again. In the past, I've really enjoyed fights at the game, but I think I realized in the past I was ringside. And if you're a couple of tables back,
I
it's
thought
hard
that
to
this-
see.
Hey, I was
Right,
way out
yeah.
the sticks.
You were
The
farther
thing
than
I
us,
was
and you were up
you
front, so
I
I
was
think I'd be as
second
close as
row,
you.
and I still could barely see.
I was
Oh,
like
see, that's
I was
pretty
second
bad.
row
'Cause you
tables,
had
I
good
could
seats.
barely see.
And I thought we had good seats.
Did they have a
until the
video to watch?
No,
No.
Jim mentioned it. He goes, you need the jumbo screen.
They need the jumbo
You
screen.
got to.
Yeah, one less pro fight and take that money and put it in a big screen and
Right.
have somebody film it and you know, I look at things as a fan and then as a matchmaker and then a promoter and Adam does a great job. Take That Promotions does a great job. It was, I think, their first time at that venue.
Yes.
And you learn something about a new venue every time. You know, you change, and I hear he's going to be doing one again there in January, so I know he's going back.
Would definitely recommend he get the jumbo.
Yeah, you need to because it's hard to sell that last row, those couple last rows of seats a second time.
Right.
You know, and Adam's a smart guy; he'll figure it out.
I would have rather stood at the back, honestly. I mean, we were second row
You know
behind
what?
the
It didn't
first.
help because we went out for Steve Berger's fight and stood in the back.
Mhm.
You couldn't see anything.
We were ready to boogie at that. We wanted to be there to when the fight was over. We knew it was time to
Right.
get to
I
beat the
turned
crowd.
around and you guys were gone because you were
Yeah.
just one table behind us.
Ah,
And I turned around.
We
I'm
were
like,
trying to beat the
where did they
crowd.
all go?
I was exhausted.
Did they have a
from my
good
show
crowd
the
that
day
night?
before. I was just.
They had a good crowd. I'd say over 1,000 people.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they had every bit of maybe 1,200 out there. I mean,
It wasn't fully sold out, but it
it
was
was a-
very, very
There's
cool.
a lot of
well,
people
the last venue we was at out there, I think they had 800 or 900, and
Really? It looked empty.
It looked empty compared to what it was that time. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing at least 1,200. You know, at least 1,200.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we all kind of guessed too, was 1,200, and I don't know how many
Oh,
of these
yeah.
paying attendance, but it was a good showing.
Right.
They do a good job. Adam works his butt off on matchmaking.
Yeah, he does.
and
Oh, yeah.
Gets all the
He
credit.
puts on a
For,
good show.
gets all the credit for trying to bring pro fighters to
Right.
our market because that's an expensive, hard show to do. And they'll work out the kinks at that venue.
Sure.
Adam's a smart promoter, and you know he'll fix it.
You learn as you go. I mean, he's done a few successful events, so you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
that way there's just.
The
you know,
thing is, we
live
need
and
to
learn.
be able to help each other. I mean, everybody, there's so many people that are territorial and, you know, you can't do a show every month. If everyone's doing good shows, then people will go to the local events. It only takes one or two crappy shows, and that whole group of fans that have never been to a show, they just say, oh, I went to one of those once, it wasn't no
Well,
good.
if you can't see, that's enough.
Right.
Yeah.
That's enough right there. If
Especially
you can't
for
see,
prices
what'd you
like
go to?
that.
Right.
What'd you
Especially
go
for
to
the
see
prices.
if you can't see?
Let's talk about prices on your show, man. $20 tickets.
$20 for general admission. General admission is seating. It is not stand up. There are tables where you can set your beers, your drinks, whatever. You know, it's ringside. Ringside.